live. Can everyone hear me? Maybe say yes or something. I have no idea if I'm live or not. Yes. All right, I am live. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. This is really fun. I wanted to answer any questions, maybe take requests, or if you had any requests to hear some of my gear. Yeah, first of all, let's do some housekeeping. I want everyone who hasn't already to subscribe, although I'm assuming everyone already has who's probably watching this. Let's see, what else? I have Instagram accounts if you want to follow them, at Shire Plucker. Shire_Plucker is my personal main account, and my other account is 3_Savile_row. 3Savile Row is a Instagram account that I post Beatles, Get Back and Let It Be pictures and videos. Let's see who's here. Cooper's here. Lily is here. Isaiah. Who else is here? I want to say definitely a shout out to Cooper, Coop's Covers. Go follow him. Isaiah, go follow him as well. Hot Sauce. This is not the Vox Trem. This is my Strymon Flint pedal. Here's it without. Someone said I'm Matty Boo. Nope, I am unfortunately not Matty Boo. Who else is here? Moo Einstein, Alfonso Barades, Elite One. Hello, everyone. I wanted to also give a shout out to DLD2 Music. He's where I get my isolated covers from, isolated tracks from. Obviously, Michael Sokiel. Go follow him. Ryan Martin, who is Man With No Expression. And Dom Rossi. Definitely go follow those guys. How long have you been playing? You nail every cover. That is very nice of you. C.T. Martin. I've been playing since I was 11 years old. And so I'm 29 now, so I guess 18 years. Are you going to do a cover of Free as a Bird with Michael Sokiel? Yes. I think we actually are at some point. I think I might supply the slide guitar to that one. Royal Tan Casinos, amazing looking. Oh, yes. Hi from Spain. Hey, bro. I always said Rossi like Rossi, Dominic Rossi. That probably is right, Isaiah. I do not know which it is because I've never met him, unfortunately. I want to meet these guys. Yes, this is a George Harrison Extra Texture sweater. David Montes liked the sweater. What would you say is the hardest Beatles song to play, guitar-wise? Ooh, what a great question. That was also C.T. Martin. Ooh, I think some of George's solos are very difficult and fast, like Old Brown Shoe. I'll do that one really quick with some Leslie here. A little slap back. That's a short solo, but it's very difficult. I'd say George is kind of a master of kind of the subtle but skillful licks. Good question. Isaiah said, you think George used his Hamburg guitar on that one? On Old Brown, if it's Old Brown Shoe, definitely not. The Hamburg guitar, was that the Futurama one? I don't know. Elite One said, how is the new Vox? Yeah, so this is my new Vox. On the top boost setting. and I'm still getting used to it, but I think it sounds awesome. Do some neck pickup here. Oh, I still have slapback on there. Oh boy, I'm getting a lot of questions. Hi everyone, if you're just joining. Yeah, what else did I want to say? More shout outs maybe. Jacob K is another one. You should definitely check his channel out. Good buddy of mine. Also, you can follow my band. I think someone just asked if I make original music. On my channel, I have some old original music, but you can check out my band, Uncle Kingsley, unclekingsley.bandcamp.com. And that is me and my fiance Lily. We make music together. I got a lot of questions. Oh man, this is exciting. You're hyped for the new deluxe edition of Revolver. Of course I am. Yeah, do you guys want to hear some Revolver? Well, now, of course, sure, but for like in the future, some of those covers, I was planning on doing this one. Ooh, can't play that right now, but I promise you I do know how to play that one. Can you play the Taxman solo? Yes. Sort of. Like, there's a little thing that Paul does that's really difficult. I'll put a fuzz on for this. This is Analog Man's Sun Face. Nope. That's the part that trips me up. I think probably everyone gets tripped up on that little Indian kind of descending thing. Ooh, yeah, that's not sounding too great. But I guess the answer to that is, can you play Taxman solo? Sort of. All right. Alfonso Barada said, favorite guitarist, top 3. Oh, man. George Harrison probably has to be in the top 3. My others are probably Pete Townsend from The Who and Brian May from Queen. Those are my favorite. I also love Bruce Springsteen. He's kind of underrated guitarist. Let's see. Oh, Isaiah Beatles, it looks like a Telecaster. I think he's talking about Old Brown Shoe, which, yes, was George's Rosewood Telecaster. What's the first song you do on the Rickenbacker 360-12 with the octave strings off? Excuse me. Yeah, so if anyone doesn't know the Rickenbacker 12-string, I'm just going to go get it. By the way, like today, any requests for guitars you want to hear or see, they're all here. So I'm going to go grab that. Here is my Rick. And the Rick needs a little tender loving because you'll see why. It's a little, intonation-wise, it's kind of not in tune. It's sounding pretty good, though. So, yeah, they were asking if I take the octave strings off the Rickenbacker, I could probably do some Lennon's covers, Lennon's 3-2-5 parts, because I don't have a Rickenbacker 6-string. And I've tried that before, and it actually works pretty well because the neck is meant, the nut width is the same as a 6-string Rickenbacker. So songs like, I don't know, All My Loving, all those like early Beatles songs, She Loves You, maybe some Beatles for Sale where I can use my Tennessean and 6-string Rick. That's a really good idea. So I'll definitely be doing that. I need to use this more. Okay, a lot of questions. Do you own a J160E? No, that was someone who asked that. I have a J45 though, which is very similar. Jacob K is awesome. Yes, Isaiah. You are awesome, but Jacob K is also very awesome. Let's see. My sweet Lord. Hey man, glad you're live. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to you. Oh, Isaiah, I was talking about Free as a Bird. What guitar did George use on that? It's possible George used Rocky for the slide part on Free as a Bird. But also, if you look at anthology, I'm really zoomed in, anthology footage, he's also using some weird Strats and Tellys that are like 90s or 80s Fenders. When will you finally cover I'd Have You Anytime, Omre75? That's one I want to do soon, definitely, I promise. Is it in tune, referring to this guitar? Decide for yourself. I do think right now it's in tune. Not really. It has some issues I need to take into the shop. The weird thing is that on the second and third frets, if you're playing a low E string, this is my guitar right now, this problem, sounds pretty good there. Once you go up to the second or third frets on the low or low E or low A strings, it gets a little weird, so I have to kind of tune it depending on the song if I'm doing like more E or G. Sure some of you know what the song that is. Let's see here. Loving the extra texture shirt, thank you. I love your Les Paul. Can you recommend a budget Les Paul type guitar? Yeah, I mean the Epiphone Les Pauls are okay. They're not like Gibson quality. There are some other guitars, other brand guitars that make okay Les Pauls, like Eastman's. Can't really think of other ones. Mine's a Gibson, so it's like you gotta either pay that top price to get the Gibson, or kind of what I would actually recommend is probably getting an Epiphone Les Paul and then kind of modding it, like putting different pickups in, maybe some different hardware, so it's kind of more high quality. Coop's covers, I want to see you do And I Love Her on the Admira. That Admira, Cooper's actually played that guitar before. That is my classical, and I will get that out in a second. I promise I'll do that. The Ginger Drummer. Hey Sam, settle a debate for me on every little thing she does. It's been said John played all of his Rickenbackers, his C58, his 12-string, and his Miami. That's interesting. I did a cover of Every Little Thing, and I don't believe he used all of his Ricks. Some people believe he used his black 325 12-string, which was, I think, given to him by Rickenbacker. So my personal belief is that George played this guitar on Every Little Thing, just because I think it does have a different sound to it, the black 32512, and that song does have an interesting sound to it, but I think just the level of like expertise on the solo sounds more like George to me. But that is definitely a debate that I don't want to necessarily die on that hill. Okay, I got a lot of questions coming in. By the way, it is John Lennon's birthday. Happy birthday, John. He would have been 82. And I was playing some John earlier. I will definitely do some more of that. Top 5 Paul bass lines. Blair Penny, that is a great question. Hey Bulldog, Lovely Rita, Silly Love Songs, with a little help from my friends. I'd say Good Night Tonight is also a pretty cool bass line. You Can't Do That. That is a good shout out. Dom Rossi. Dom is in the house. George used Rocky. I think Dom is referring to Free as a Bird. And I'd have to agree. I think George did use Rocky on Free as a Bird. Go follow Dom. Dom Rossi is amazing. Please go follow him if you don't already. Is there another Gretsch guitar you'd love to get next? That is Joel Starr. And that is a funny question. I'm laughing because there are like 3 or 4 Gretsch guitars that I would like to get next, because you have the orange 6120, which I'm a Pete Townsend fan, so I really do want that guitar he used on Who's Next and Quadrophenia. But, you know, a country gent would really help me out with my covers, but I honestly prefer duo jets, so that could be something as well. Top Paul bass line, Something, This Boy, Hey Bulldog, Savoy Truffle, Taxman. Those are really good ones too. Basically anything from Revolver, Sgt. Pepper, Magical Mystery Tour are like amazing bass lines. What about Real Love on that heavy solo, Isaiah? That might be one of his other guitars, because you do see footage of him in Paul's studio using one of those like 90s or 2000s Fenders with like different pickups, like active pickups in it and stuff. But I don't know, it could be Rocky. I got a lot of questions come in. All right, first guitar you ever owned. I don't have it here. That was someone who asked that. It was a Martin 000 X1. It's a cheaper Martin. And then I got my Les Paul. That was my first electric. Do you find it hard to decide which song you want to cover? Sometimes. That was GameBot. Hi, GameBot. Yeah, I see you a lot on my videos. Yeah, it's hard to decide sometimes because a lot of people want to hear a classic maybe, but I don't have like the right gear for it. I don't want to like use a Les Paul on Please Please Me or something like that. But it's usually just like what cover do I really want to play? Like I love I'm So Tired. I love Hard Day's Night. So like those are songs that just kind of I really just want to get into. I don't think about it too much. Okay. Can you play some Hard Day's Night? Who requested that one? Elite One, that was for you. Okay. Beatles fan, I see you a lot as well. Can you do Bus Stop on your 36012? Oh man, I don't know how to play Bus Stop. That's a song that Man with No Expression, I think he already did that one. You should go check Ryan's channel out. Henry No. 3 Studios, next cover. I cannot disclose that top secret information, but I have a big surprise coming for you all. It's possibly involving some other YouTuber. Coop's covers. Hey, Cooper. The new Epiphone Les Pauls inspired by Gibson are quite good. That is definitely a good shout out. kind of the in-between between like a $500 Epiphone and a $2,000 or $3,000 Gibson Les Paul. Found your channel through My Sweet Lord band cover. You're always nailing it. Thank you, Emre. That's really nice. What songs were played on the Black 32512? We were just talking about that. Probably Every Little Thing, maybe, but other than that, it's possible John never used it, on any Beatles recordings. Can you do more Rolling Stones covers? Yes, definitely. Possibly Paint It Black on the sitar. Sorry, I'm zooming in here to look at these questions. Beatles fan, would you do some Hollies songs? Yeah, I like the Hollies. I'm only getting into them, so I don't really know how to play a lot of their songs. But again, go check out Man with No Expression, Ryan. He is a Hollies master and a Byrds master. Coop's covers, Rain is also an amazing Paul bassline, yes. Hey Sam, would love to see you do more George Harrison solo. My Sweet Lord cover was awesome. Thank you. That was Fern S. I enjoyed your Jerry and the Pacemakers cover. Do you have any plans on doing any more Jerry? Yes. With a guitar strap high on. Yeah. I'm going to use my Tennessean for How Do You Do It? And also, if you never heard Hello Little Girl, which is a John Lennon, actually John's first song he ever wrote, Jerry and the Pacemakers do a really cool cover of that. Michigan Fan 97, I just sold my Country Gent. It was awesome having it, but I never felt like I got close to his tone, even with an AC30 with blues, flat wound strings, jangle box. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's hard, like, just to nail George's tone because of the way he played. I'm not really that great at getting George's, like, intricate fingerings. Like, I think I can play his songs well, but I don't know if I'm really that great at like nailing George's like fingering stuff. So Sad from Dark Horse, Henry No. 3 Studios. That's a really good one. I'm gonna get my 12 string out and do that in a second. I'm trying to catch up with these questions. Man, I wish my first guitar was a Martin. It was a cheaper Martin, but yeah, I was pretty lucky. Favorite Buddy Holly song, Nitro Unity. I'm a huge Buddy Holly fan. I'm actually going to go get something really quickly because that's interesting. Sorry, I'm back. Nitro Unity asked about Buddy Holly and my favorite Buddy song. I think it would have to be Listen to Me, off of his self-titled album, but I have a story about Buddy Holly. I went to his studios in New Mexico and picked up, the tour guide gave me this mug, which Buddy actually drank out of. So that was like amazing. That was just so cool. This is my Martin, not the first Martin I owned, but my, first vintage Martin guitar. It's a 1969 0018, and currently it is tuned to a whole step down. So like Paul used this tuning on Yesterday. Sounds really rich. I had a Yamaha Acoustic for my first. That's not bad. Yamahas are great. Joel Starr, what's your favorite Beatles live song with George playing 12 string when it doesn't have the 12 string on the original recording? Oh, that's an interesting question. If you listen to like the Hollywood Bowl or some of the BBC stuff, George used a 12 string on like what songs, like Twist and Shout, or I think it's really cool that he used it on Shout, just the song Shout, like That was from Around the Beatles, I think, that TV show. I think there's one of him using it on I Want to Be Your Man around that time. That's really cool. Les Paul on Please Please Me. Okay, but now I want to see you bring out the Les Paul and play Please Please Me. I was going to do that as a joke later on. What is the best Beatles live performance in your opinion? Beatles fan 1001. I mean, the early stuff is so good, like Shot of Rhythm and Blues, like some of those interesting covers I really like, Soldier of Love. But I think the Rooftop concert, I think everyone would probably agree with me, like Dig a Pony, One After 909 is just like incredible. Do you have a favorite forgotten song, like a B-side or a deep album cut? I really love... well, does that mean like released or demo? I guess it doesn't matter. I really like Bad to Me, the demo, and actually Isaiah, we collaborated on that. So go check out Isaiah's channel. I actually sung on that one. I'll Be on My Way, Soldier of Love, again, that's a really good one. The Inner Light is really good. What Beatles guitar do you want to own for your Beatles videos? Moo Einstein. That's always the question is, what's my next guitar? I think I want to own a Rickenbacker bass next. Because my only bass right now, I did just buy the bass 6, but that's kind of specific. I really want a Rickenbacker bass. I can do so many more full band covers if I have that, and it's just my like dream bass. Joel Starr, what's your favorite J160 song? Probably something off of like Hard Days and Night or Please Please Me, like Do You Want to Know a Secret, or And I Love Her, something like that. If I Fell, actually, that's probably a good one. What Martin acoustic do you recommend on a budget? I don't know if they make the one that I started out with, the 000 X1, but I think there's like Traveler guitars. There's some, they're not like made of real wood on some of the siding and stuff. It's like an MDF kind of thing. But any Martin guitar is like really well made, so I recommend that. Have you ever been to the UK, CT Martin? Where are you based? I'm based in New York, right outside New York City. And I have been to the UK. I was in Scotland this summer, and I spent a lot of time in Cambridge and London, and it's like literally my favorite place to be. It's so cool. Are you planning to get a J160 to get a P90 sound on an acoustic guitar? Beatles fan. Yes, it's hard because I have the J45 that doesn't have a pickup in it, but it's like the same acoustic sound. This Martin has a pickup in it, but it's not a P90, it's below the bridge. So I could plug this in, but it doesn't feel the same as, it's not the same thing at all. I probably will borrow a J160 at some point from someone. Let's see here. Goodbye by Paul on Abbey Road. That's a really good one. Have you seen the Les Paul Beatles? Oh, the Beatles concert in Paris. Ginger Drummer is referring to before Ed Sullivan. The Beatles played in Paris, and they actually recorded All My Loving. Oh no, I'm sorry. Can't Buy Me Love. They recorded that at the Paris EMI studios. And if you look at the pictures of the Paris shows in January 1964, George is using his Tennessean. He had just gotten that guitar. So it's really cool if you listen to that, or I recommend listening to the London Palladium shows from that time. You can hear George playing the Tennessean on like I Want to Hold Your Hand and She Loves You and all those songs, and it's pretty cool. What's the next bass you buy? Rickenbacker, definitely. Are there any alternate versions or takes of Beatles songs that you think are better than the official version? That's a great question. I actually really love the Strawberry Fields Forever Take 7. I love alternate takes. I think like the White Album box set was amazing. because you get like early versions and they're still so good. They're not that rough. Hi, do you prefer flat or round wound strings for the Beatles guitars? What gauge is the most comfortable? That's a good question because flat wounds are kind of essential to getting the tone, but recently I put round wounds on my Gretsch again because it just was too difficult to bend on the G string especially. So flat wounds get the sound, but are they comfortable? Do they make you play well or bend well, like you said? Not always. Trying to catch up with these questions. Cooper, Jess is asking for a Sam and Francis reveal. Cooper is referring to my cats. I don't know if I want to bring my cats into this because they're insane. GameBot, I'm in New York too. Oh, cool. I'm going to play some songs while we're here. This is one, since I'm in this tuning, I wanted to do this as a cover soon, and let me know if you think that is a good idea. Good start. Love that song. A lot of great music was made in this tuning, which is it's just standard tuning, but a whole step down. So an E is now a D, but it sounds so much cooler than playing a D. Normally it would sound like that. If you got a short scale bass, what would you get? Definitely, if a Hofner counts, I'm definitely getting a Hofner. Anthology's Only a Northern Song was better than the one used. That was really good. Sour Milk Sea, that's a really good one. I thought you were gonna play A Girl Like You by the Ruddles. The Ruddles are so good if you haven't checked them out. Heart of the Country, yes. Hari Krishna guessed it. Hi, I'm late. Are you planning on getting a Rickenbacker bass or a Hofner? We just discussed that. Yes, I mean either one is something I should get, but definitely the Rickenbacker is something that's in the works eventually. Do you think the Beatles actually used a fretless guitar, and which one? That is a controversial thing, Joel Starr, because on Happiness is a Warm Gun, George's solo, sounds very like he's bending a lot, and some people thought that was the fretless, but I don't personally believe they ever used it in the studio. Some people thought on Helter Skelter as well, that kind of bendy thing. You hear like an E note being bent throughout the song, and people thought that was George kind of bending with the fretless guitar, but I personally don't think they used it. I think in my cover of Happiness is a Warm Gun on my Les Paul, I showed that it's possible to do it on a normal guitar. Reminds me of Elizabeth Cotten a little. I was just playing some Elizabeth Cotten who did Freight Train. Check her out if you haven't heard of Elizabeth Cotten. Rudels cover would be fabulous. Ruddles, I mean. Yes. Look up Cheese and Onions if you haven't, by the Ruddles. Ever plan on doing full band covers of anything off Ram? I just played Heart of the Country, and yes, I was going to do a full band cover of that. That would be really cool. Monkberry Moon Delight. Yes, that's a good one. Which 325 do you like best, C58 or C64? I like John's Black C64. Is that the one on Ed Sullivan that he received, I think, in New York around that time? I like that one. When you're talking fretless guitar, you're talking politics, Isaiah. Yeah, we're going to avoid controversial stuff here, so no more bringing up any fretless guitars. Beatles fan, we could collaborate together, as I have a Hofner HCT and a Rickenbacker 325 if you want. That could be really cool. Yeah, those are guitars that, again, I don't have. I didn't plan on this channel being like a Beatles cover channel originally, so I don't have all the guitars like Michael Sokiel. I don't have a Country Gent or a Rick or a Hofner, so it's kind of funny that I'm even doing this, but I feel like I can do some of the later Beatles covers with my Telly and Les Paul and Casino, and I have a Tennessean, so but I'm gonna eventually get a lot of these guitars, hopefully. Do you have any tips on how to get the Nowhere Man lead guitar tone? I have a Strat, and I saw your cover and many other covers put their pickup switch to the bridge pickup. Are there any other effects? I'll get the Strat really quick and show you. I'm not sure who asked that one. Who was that? Snoopacino. Snoopacino asked how to get Nowhere Man tone, or like what effect it was. And that's really interesting because Michael Sokiel, if you look at his cover of that or some other covers, people think that they used the in-between settings on the Strat. And that's a whole thing because my Strat and a lot of Strats now are equipped with a 5-way switch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But originally it was just bridge, middle, and neck. And in the late 60s, people like Jimi Hendrix learned you can jam the switch in the middle and get it out of phase to get this kind of quacky tone. So Nowhere Man has a quacky tone on it. So Michael Sokiel used that out of phase position, and it really does sound right. For my cover, I used the bridge pickup because I kind of assumed the Beatles hadn't discovered that trick yet in 1965. That was so early, so I kind of assumed it was probably just bridge pickup. They wanted a lot of treble on that song. As opposed to in between. So, yeah, it kind of sounds out of phase, actually. I think Sokiel got that right, and I think it possibly wasn't bridge pickup. Either way, it's close. I would say mess around with the pickup positions. I love Elizabeth Cotten. Yeah, everyone go check her out right now. She actually was a housemaid for Pete Seeger's family, and she played guitar, and she stopped playing for a while, and everyone didn't know that she could even play guitar. And in her like late 60s or early 70s, she rediscovered that she could play again, and she wrote that song Freight Train, and it's just incredible stuff. What is different, C58 or C64? That's someone talking about the Rickenbacker differences. So I'm really bad at this, but the C58 is John's Hamburg Rickenbacker that was sanded down, and it had the big knobs that he eventually changed, and I think he put a Bigsby on it. Excuse me, but the C64 was given to him in 1964. I think in New York, Rickenbacker gave it to him, and that's the classic one that you see for most of his Beatles career. The natural one was only on, I believe, Please Please Me. Otherwise, I don't think John used it. Cooper, we are going to avoid controversial stuff. George and John for the Hey Bulldog solo. Cooper, it's really tormenting me today. Yeah, so on my cover of Hey Bulldog, I did just the SG, so I kind of believed it was just George. This is opening a can of worms. A lot of people believe John played his casino and George played his SG, and they played it together, which is possible. In the music video, you see John using his casino, but there's no evidence that he used it on the song. It's very possible. I made the decision to use my SG because I found out listening to the isolated tracks. By the way, go check out DLD2 Music, his channel, because he has all these isolated tracks. I discovered there were 4 guitars on the Hey Bulldog song, not playing at the same time necessarily, but there was a lot going on. Anyway, Cooper's really opening a can of worms here. Go check him out too, Cooper's covers. Anyway, I decided only SG, but it's very possible as a casino. Fern S., are you planning on doing a bit of run-of-the-mill Take 36? That is something I've actually been thinking of doing. Fern is referring to All Things Must Pass box set, where there's a fast version of run-of-the-mill. And you can actually hear Clapton and Peter Frampton playing at the same time. It's a really cool version of that song because you have like harmonizing guitars. Yeah, check out that version. It's really cool. Let's see, favorite McCartney Rick bass finish. Oh, okay, I thought you were saying song, Joel Starr. Finish, I love the Fire Glow when he did his custom paint job. I think that's the coolest, although the natural finish is amazing. Nowhere Man solo. Okay. Should I do it, before I do it, should I do it in the out of phase position or the bridge pickup? I also notice people tend to miss the accidental note, ghost note on the solo of Nowhere Man. I think Snoopachino is referring to the little harmonic, the little thing at the end there. Isaiah, I think Michael did the solo right because people either do the slide into the harmonic on the low E string. Michael plays on the A string, which is what I think is correct. Okay, I'll show you what Isaiah's talking about. So the way that I played it, I'll just play the solo. That's how I played it, which is on the low E string you go. A lot of people kind of just slide down, hit the harmonic, but I kind of listened to the isolated and discovered George kind of does increments. So instead of, he kind of goes. But some people play it this way, which is interesting, on the A string. This is how Michael did it. So it's kind of more incremental, but on the A string going from B down. And I don't know which it is. You'll have to tell me which you think it is. Check out Michael Sokil, by the way. Shout out to him. He is incredible. I had the pleasure of doing sitar on his Norwegian Wood cover recently. Where can I get that sweater? George's website? Yeah, this is from George Harrison's official website. It's pretty cool. Yeah, these are really little differences. Matty Boo used the middle position on his Strat for Nowhere Man cover. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So middle position, out of phase, and bridge. That's how I played it, which is on the low E string you go. A lot of people kind of just slide down, hit the harmonic, but I kind of listened to the isolated and discovered George kind of does increments. So instead of, he kind of goes. I did bridge, Michael did out of phase, and Matty Boo did middle. That's pretty funny. Let's see. Can you play Under Pressure by Queen on your 36012? Oh, wow. That's a good request, Beatles fan. I'll do that in a sec. I just had my Rick, so I'm going to get that in a second. Matty Boo just slides down, Isaiah. I think Isaiah's saying just kind of a general from B, you just go down. I have a question. Do you guys like this new pickguard? I changed the pickguard and pickup covers and stuff on this Strat. I can't show you obviously what it used to look like, but it used to have a more mint green pickguard cover, which was like aged green, but now I changed it to kind of more white. I'm trying to go for the look on Rubber Soul or Help, where John is playing his Strat with like a red shirt, and it kind of looks not so like aged green, obviously, because it was only 4 years old then, that guitar. So what do you prefer? How hard was it to get that sitar part down, Mark Cochran? It was not easy. My fingers are still recovering. I don't know if you can see what I've been through this past week trying to get that sitar. Sitar is really hard to play. You don't bend up on a sitar. You only bend down. So that's not necessarily what's hard about it, but the strings are really thick and there's no fretboard underneath your fingers to kind of lean on. It's very scalloped to the fretboard. So your fingers are always on a really sharp string, and it really hurt. And also my sitar is really out of tune. So I did a little cheating. I will fill you in on this for Michael's cover. It wasn't the actual live take I was doing. I put together different audio splices of Norwegian Wood sitar. So it is me playing, of course, and it's the real, video of me playing, but it's, I had to kind of make sure that it was in tune. Otherwise it would sound really out of tune. Let's see. Can you cover Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Queen? Yeah. That's actually one, because I don't have the Red Special, Brian May's Red Special guitar, but I have a Telly, and that's what he used on that song. I'm a big Queen fan. I'm going to take a second before I answer more questions just say happy birthday to Mr. John Lennon. Happy birthday, John. Yeah, I can, by the way, I'm willing to take requests today. I want you guys to subscribe. I want you to go check me out on Instagram at Shire Plucker. And also, I think in this chat you can donate. If you ever want to do that, it could go towards a Rickenbacker guitar, bass guitar specifically. And then, yeah, if there's any guitars you want to hear, right now I have my new Strat, but I have all my guitars here, so while we're live, let's take advantage of that. I would have kept the old greenish Strat pickguard you had. I think most people seem to agree the green looked better, the green pickguard is what I'm referring to, than the white. I think I went a little too white on the pickguard, so I'm going to mess around. Do you like the best one of your guitars? I think they're asking which guitar I like the best. I like Telecasters the most. I'll go get that in a second. Do you use Amplitude Beatles guitars? No, I do not use any digital effects or anything. I have my Vox, here, I'll just show you. I have my Vox amp back there I'm using right now. I have a 65 Bassman. a 62 champ, and a 74 Pro Reverb. I use all, for the most part, analog pedals, so there's really no like simulation going on here. Happy birthday, John. On Crazy Little Thing Called Love, we're getting a Queen question. Did Freddie use a pick or his fingers? I think Freddie only really used his fingers. If you watch him live, he does. I don't think Freddie even, used a pick. Been so long since I've heard a Strat trem. Cooper is my good friend. Coop's Covers, go check him out. He has a Strat, but it's a hardtail. So that means there's no tremolo springs in the back. It's just bare wood, no Strat trem. How did you record the sitar part? Like, how did you mic it? You can actually see in Michael Sokil's cover, I have a Neumann microphone. It's the one that's currently on my Bassman there. It's a real Neumann condenser, which is similar to what the Beatles used. Not the exact mic, but it is a Neumann real condenser microphone. And I put it kind of maybe 8 to 10 inches away from the sitar, kind of at an angle. I don't know how George Martin would have mic'd a real sitar. I don't know if there's any pictures. Sam, how do you play Dr. Robert accurately? That is one, especially for the Revolver thing coming out, that I want to explore, because I've always played it this way, which is, if you watch the Beatles, they always do bar chords like this. So I think there's 2 guitars on it, but I do it this way. But it's possible John, or whoever did the main part, played it down here. It's one of those 2. It's an A and an A sus, and then you go to F sharp. Just found out John Lennon is dead. Oh, that's a joke. That's actually Luke Weber, who's a friend of mine who actually edited the My Sweet Lord video. I think they're messing around. Let's see. What amp did you use for your Nowhere Man cover? Sorry, I'm asking too much about Nowhere Man. No, that's good. I have the Strat here. I used my 65 Bassman, that black real 60s amp. I didn't have the Vox yet. And so actually it probably sounds better through the Vox now. I think it's just a little more Beatlesy now. But I tried to make it very bright using some plugins and EQ to make it even more, Voxy. You need to enable Super Chat so you can send money. How do I do that? Oh no. You guys do not have to send me money. I just thought I would, give that as an option, but I don't even know how to do Super Chat. Let's see. Thank you for letting me know that. I have no idea. What about the Who covers on your channel? I'd love to hear Quadrophenia stuff. Yes. I actually am in the works. I have something in the works for the Who. I'm working on a song called Odorono, which is a rare one from '67. It goes like this. I love the Who, sometimes even more than the Beatles. I won't say that, but. Do you think Paul used his fingers on Michelle and here and there and everywhere, or a pick? I think Paul tended to use his fingers more. I did the cover Here, There, and Everywhere without a pick, because if you actually listen to it, Paul does some kind of spanky stuff, for lack of a better word, with his fingers. And with a pick, it just sounds different. do an upstroke and kind of get it that quacky, you really need your fingers. So I don't think Paul used a pick often, actually. Is Bruce Springsteen a good guitarist and singer? It's a bit annoying for my dad to say that Bruce is a terrible singer as he sounds a bit too tight. I am a huge Bruce Springsteen fan, so it's hard for me to say because I'm so biased. I don't think Bruce is like obviously the most technical guitarist or singer of all time, but he is a really good guitarist. If you listen to stuff from 1978 like Prove It All Night or Kitty's Back or Born to Run, anything from Born to Run, he's a really good guitarist. And he is a good singer too. I think people, I think because his voice is so raspy and specific, it's you kind of love it or hate it. But he is really good. Check out some Bruce Springsteen. Beatles, I have a Vox Blue speaker 1995, but I have a very nice tones with the Amplitude 2. Yeah, Amplitude is really good, and you can get Vox tones without having to buy what I just bought. I personally think a real thing always sounds better, but if you don't have the means to get this stuff, or play this loud, by the way, I play pretty loud, it just makes sense to get a simulation, and it's just fun. Love to hear you play Hard Day's Night. You should get the 325 C64 next. Yeah, they're really specific guitars. They're very they're short scale and I don't know, it's tricky. They're not my favorite guitars, but they would be so helpful to do a cover with. My uncle used to have a 12-string Strat, but it broke. Those are interesting. They didn't make 12-string Strats until maybe the 90s or something. Paul notoriously uses his fingers. He did that on Blackbird and Yesterday. Still does that. Yeah, Paul, especially if you listen to like Goodbye, that demo, Paul has like a weird hybrid picking and strumming thing. Do you know how to play Wild Thing by the Trogs? I don't know what key it's in. I think it's like A. I'm going to get another guitar. This is sounding kind of out of tune, but also just be nice to play some other stuff. This is my 1970 SG Special with P90s, so it's the same pickups in like a casino guitar, so it's not exactly like George's, but I find it gets really good revolver tones. Someone was asking about She Said. I'm just gonna do fuzz on that. You guys must be excited for the new Revolver box set to drop. That's going to be awesome. Who or what introduced you to the Beatles, and which song hooked you first? I've been listening to the Beatles since I was like 4 or 5 years old. I remember hearing Hey Bulldog when I was like 5 in the car, and watching A Hard Day's Night, the movie, really hooked me at a young age. The Please Please Me album is one of my favorites. I've always loved them. What's your favorite bass line, lead guitar part, rhythm, drum line? Bass line, I think I already said some of them. Like all of Paul's like Rickenbacker, Sgt. Pepper stuff is definitely my favorite. Lead guitar part, Something, the solo on that is incredible. Rhythm, John Lennon, All My Loving. These are the first things that come to my head. It could change any day. Drumline, go listen to, what's it called? I'm going to Sit Right Down and Cry Over You from the BBC set. Ringo's drums on that is incredible. Obviously, like Rain and A Day in the Life and She Said is really good Ringo stuff too. I like your Springsteen Gear Insta page. Yeah, please follow my Bruce Springsteen page. It's called Springsteen Gear. I need to post on that more. What is your favorite Beatle guitar? Mine is probably the Casino and the Rick 36012. I really love the Sonic Blue Strat. I think Rubber Soul is my favorite album, so I think that the Strat or the Rosewood Telecaster are probably my favorite. Can you show the technique for Don't Think Twice It's Alright by Bob Dylan? Oh boy, I don't even know if he used a pick on that or not. I don't know. I love that song, but I need to kind of think about how he really played it. Dylan is a really good finger picker, though. People don't think of Bob Dylan as a good guitarist, but if you listen to stuff like Boots of Spanish Leather, Dylan, yeah, believe it or not, Dylan is a good guitarist. He did some cool finger picking stuff. Can't wait for full band, Like a Rolling Stone cover. That would be interesting. Would you do any Birds? Yes, especially considering I have a Tennessean and a Rickenbacker 12-string, definitely. Revolver band covers soon. If it's a full band cover, I don't know because I don't have like the right bass. I really am annoying in that way where I won't cover a song unless I have the right similar gear. But yes, Revolver guitar songs definitely coming up. Check out my Here, There, and Everywhere cover, but I do want to do this one soon. Ooh, that was bad. And it wasn't even on that guitar. But yeah, check out some Revolver stuff. That's coming up soon. I'm at my dad's and I decided to bring my Casino. Oh yeah, Isaiah just got a Casino, so congratulate him because that is exciting. We seem to have a discussion going on in live chat. Did George use the Guild Starfire on Pepper songs? The Starfire was John's, and he didn't get that till 68. He got it in 66. Yeah, so if anyone doesn't know, John received a Guild Starfire 12-string guitar in 1966, I think while they were on tour, and no one knows for sure if he used it in the studio, but on Guitar Gently Weeps, there is a 12-string guitar part that you can hear. It kind of doubles the bass line, and some people are like, oh, maybe that's the Rickenbacker 12-string, like George's old one, or maybe it's the Guild Starfire. If you look, there are pictures of John playing a Guild Starfire 12-string during the White Album, so I believe Gently Weeps has the Guild Starfire on it. I don't believe he used it on any of the Sgt. Pepper songs, though. But I'm hoping to maybe even rent one of the Starfire 12 guitars because they're pretty cheap, and just use it for the Gently Weeps cover and then just give it back if I can. How do you afford all these guitars? I'm very lucky that a lot of them were gifts to me because I've been playing guitars, as I said, for 18 years. So over time and just saving up, I've been able to get a lot of them as gifts, and yeah, I'm very lucky. Hi Sam, what pedals do you use, for example, to emulate the Rubber Soul Revolver albums? So right now I'm using a smaller pedal board with not all of my pedals on it. I have the Dr. Robert pedal, which is made by a Spanish company, Aclam, and they do it's a simulation of the Vox amps that they used on Revolver, and it's just like it nails those tones completely. But generally, I have like a fuzz pedal, an Analog Man fuzz pedal that's based on the tone bender that they used on those albums. Just some compression or overdrive. Like this is my clean tone with the Vox top boost. And then here's like the Analog Man King of Tone. So yeah, like, I don't know, I would use that probably, or even the boost side of the King of Tone for like, I don't know, Dr. Robert or something. They didn't use a lot of like distorted stuff until Revolver. Even on Rubber Soul, there's only really one song that's kind of distorted, Think for Yourself bass, but in terms of guitar, like I'm Looking Through You has kind of a so yeah, up until 66 it was pretty clean. Would you do a Blow Away cover with your J45? I'm actually going to do Blow Away slide guitar on the Strat, and that's a really good George Harrison song from his album called George Harrison. If you guys don't know, Blow Away is really pretty. It's kind of corny, but it's a really good song. Can you cover Wish You Were Here on your 36012? I'm a big Pink Floyd fan. I probably would use my Martin like David Gilmour used, and then my acoustic 12-string guitar, because I actually think that was an acoustic 12-string that just they put a filter on. I don't actually think it was an electric 12 on that song, but yeah, I'll definitely cover that. Is the Fender Bass 6 worth it? Yeah. It needs some work. Like when you buy it, it's got a lot of issues because it's like a cheaper Squier, but considering it was only like $400 or something, it's really awesome. Let's see, Michelle on the Tennessean. Yeah, I'll show you guys my Tennessean. Maybe I'll play something on the SG though, just while we're here. One second. We've got a spammer in the chat. I guess I'm flattered because it means that's like a good thing. If you have enough viewers, eventually someone's going to spam you. Can you play the 36012? Best guitar sound ever. Yeah. I'll go get the 36012 again. Some people are asking about that. Hope you guys are all doing well. Thank you again. If you're, just joining, thank you so much for joining me. I'm really like a shy person. I'm not usually very chatty, but I wanted to answer your questions, and I hope this is fun for you. Handle with care. Did George use his Fender 12-string or Rickenbacker 36012? I just did that cover. You should go check it out. I believe he used the Rickenbacker 12, and I actually used a chorus pedal. I don't have it here, but some people believe he used a Fender 12-string, which is possible, but I think it's the Rickenbacker, because he talks about using his old Rick again around that time, especially Fish on the Sand. Let's see. Oh, someone just said something interesting. I'm trying to form a Beatles tribute band, but I need a drummer and a bassist. Yeah, that's hard. I mean, you could play some Beatles songs on your own with a guitar. People do that a lot, and it sounds good. I know you were going to say that the Dr. Robert pedal, I can't afford that one at the moment. Yeah, no, that's kind of unfair of me. It's a very pricey, cool pedal. But there's a lot of other ways to do Beatles tones with other pedals. Just an overdrive. I would say get a fuzz, an overdrive, and some sort of modulation that refers to like a tremolo or a wah-wah or like a Leslie chorus kind of pedal. If you have those things, you probably can do almost anything. Can you do Sid Barrett Floyd era with your telly? Yeah, definitely. That's a really cool thing. Do you want to know a secret with the 360? I don't think George played Do You Want to Know a Secret on this, but yeah. Sounds kind of funny on that guitar, actually. I like that. Will you be doing more piano covers? Yes. The piano thing, I don't have a piano like nearby necessarily, so I have to like make an effort to go record with one. But yeah, I think yeah, definitely will do that. I noticed people said I don't use my right thumb when I play piano, which is funny. So I need to work on that clearly. Me and My Monkey is underrated. Yeah, that was a good one. Isaiah, I might look into that dating website the spammer was sending. Yeah, you should go for it, Isaiah. Actually, don't. That, yeah, didn't seem like a good idea. What software and processing do you use? That's a good question for your parts or collaborations with Michael Sokiel, which you are fabulous, by the way. Thank you. That was Kevin Moore. I use Pro Tools, which is kind of like a very advanced recording software, and I record to that using an interface and real microphones, and then I just send my audio files to Michael Sokiel. I use my GoPro camera. It's tiny, but it seems to be doing okay. And yeah, I just send him those files, and he does his thing. It's really incredible. Cooper, I have to head out to lunch. Bye, Cooper. Thank you for joining. Isaiah, me too. Great watching this live stream. Yeah, I think we've been over an hour, so I'm going to just do a few more questions. So do the important ones now. Can you do some Andy Gibb songs? Bee Gees? I don't think so. I like the Bee Gees, but I don't think I'm going to do any of them. Macca also doesn't use his right thumb on piano. Yeah, I was curious if you guys had thoughts on that, because obviously it's not the right way to play piano, but being self-taught like Paul, I wonder if that's something that the Beatles did. Oh, Darling. I want to see Oh, Darling. The harmonics at the end. Yeah, I'm going to go grab the Casino for my last bit. So I was about to do an Oh Darling cover, and I believe John played the Casino, which sounds like this. So it was actually into a twin reverb, but then they kind of crunched it up afterwards, because you can hear the tremolo effect. So that means it was the twin reverb amp on that song, but at the end he does this thing. So for whatever reason, maybe you guys have a tip for me, but that harmonic part at the end, you can do it up here too, just is not sounding right. So I don't know how to tune my guitar to get those exact notes. Maybe you guys have advice for that. I don't know. Revolution, rather. Yeah, I'm gonna do Revolution. It's a hard song. I have a theory that they played it in B. Some people actually Matty Boo's cover was in A because some people believe it was sped up to a different key, but I believe that it was in B with a capo because John's part has this thing where he accidentally sometimes goes up to a C sharp. So if you're playing up here, or like, you can't actually do that really very easily. It doesn't sound the same. So I believe it was used. They used a capo. Jacob K is finally here. Go check out Jacob K. I just did a collaboration with him. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? I think one horse-sized duck seems a little more manageable, although neither is really ideal. Speaking of casino, can you do Revolution? Yeah. What is your favorite Beatles song? I haven't gotten that today. I mean, they're all amazing. It's such a hard question, but I think my stock default answer is When I'm 64. I really love Paul's granny music, for lack of a better word. Yeah, I just love Martha, My Dear, and it wasn't John's favorite, but I really enjoy it. Did George play the Strat or SG on Revolution? So he probably didn't play the Strat. If you listen to the White Album box set, they play it in B, as Jacob K just said, but also there's some sort of whammy bar that George uses. I don't have one because it's a trapeze tail piece bridge. So George did have a Strat, an SG, a Casino, all with tremolo arms, not to mention his Gretches. But so it could have been any of them, but I'm gonna guess if John played the Casino on Revolution, George probably played the SG or Casino, considering it was like a real rock song. That's just my guess. Looks like we've got some more spammers, so beware. Any songs by Cream or the Rolling Stones? Yeah, we will see those. It's crazy I haven't done that yet. Cream, it's interesting with Cream because their first album was a bass 6, which I just got. So I can actually do a full band cover of early Cream, which would be cool. She Loves You is one of my favorite songs. Meet the Beatles is my favorite Beatles album. Yeah, I think Meet the Beatles is a lot of Americans' favorite albums because they didn't have With the Beatles when it came out here. Which version of Revolution are you going to do? White Album, music video, or Revolution 1? I don't know. What do you guys think? I think I'm going to do the single version. That one. I have to unfortunately go soon. Lily Arnell, when are you going to cover Nickelback? That is definitely the next one that I'm going to do. Lily's my fiance, so she's messing with me. Yeah, Revolution 1, not many people do it correctly. Yeah, Revolution 1 is really good. It's a little slower. John wanted that to be their single, and then everyone was like, no, we need something a little more rocking and more, pop mainstream. Actually, I like the single version. A lot of people use the Les Paul on Dear Prudence, but is that impossible? Because George got the Les Paul midway through the White Album. No. So I actually have a list somewhere. I don't know where that is, but of the songs that George played his SG on or Strat, and then he got the Les Paul midway through the White Album. So songs like Everybody's Got Something to Hide Except Me and My Monkey, those earlier ones are all SG, and once he got his Les Paul, that pretty much was, didn't John use his casino on Dear Prudence? That's a good question. I'm going to play that for you. I think he used the J160, maybe plugged in. To thank everyone again for joining me today. This was an experiment for me because I don't like usually talking on the camera. It makes me very uncomfortable. But you guys made me feel very welcome. And I'm gonna just take a few more questions because I've been going for almost an hour and a half now. But I had so much fun. I want to do some more Lennon songs for his birthday too. Happy birthday, John. Yep, he would have been 82 today. I've also wanted to do this one for Jacob K, who just joined us. How does it go again? Yeah, just a tribute to John. I'll take a few more questions. I keep saying that, but it's just so much fun. How do you avoid casino feedback? Let's actually do that. I have my pedal board here, so I'm not playing too loud. I think if you played this amp a lot louder, you'd notice it right away. But if I take my hands off and play some louder, like, let's say with my fuzz pedal, it's already immediate. So George, if you look at pictures of him during the I Me Mine sessions, actually taped up his F-holes. It's a totally hollow body guitar, so there are some ways to do it. I just would say don't use too much gain or volume if you can avoid it. All right. Yeah, I think that does it. I just want to say thank you again. Please subscribe if you haven't. Go check out Michael Sokil, Dom Rossi, Man with No Expression, Coops Covers, Jacob K, Isaiah, DLD2 Music, and also, of course, Abley House and Matty Boo. I think someone asked, what do I think of Matty Boo? I love Matty Boo. He is fantastic, and people recently thought that I was Matty Boo, which blows my mind that I'd even be compared to him. He's so good. And anything else? Happy birthday, John Lennon. Go check out my Instagram, Shire Plucker, and Savile Row, 3 Savile Row. I share only Get Back and Let It Be videos. Sam, you did outstanding. Oh, thank you. Wow. You guys are really nice. Thank you so much for doing this. Also, check out my band, Uncle Kingsley. We're on Instagram, unclekingsley.bandcamp.com. And I'm also offering lessons. A lot of you have questions about how to play stuff, and I don't want to necessarily do tabs on my videos because I feel like it distracts a little bit, as much as it would be helpful. But I'm offering lessons, and if you reach out to me on Instagram, I'd be happy to give you guys tabs through that medium. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna play you out, and yeah, have a good Sunday wherever you are. If you missed this, a shout out to everyone who couldn't make it. This will stay on my channel, so you won't miss anything.